The superstars of Fan Control Football Season 2.0 are not only the who's who of celebrity team owners and influencers, not the 21 million live views of our Emmy-nominated broadcast. Across Twitch, DAZN, Fubo, NBCLX, Peacock. Or our highlights that scored over 100 million views. And we can't forget best-in-class sponsors. But the biggest star of Season 2 is our play calling app that allow fans to control the action on the field. Fans pick a team, pick a play, 4 run plays, 4 pass plays to choose from. The play with the most votes is called in real time.
We got it.
This is where video games and live action come to life. And now, Fan Control Sports and Entertainment brings you Fan Controlled Hoops, where fans call the shots. Coming 2023, the future of sports is here, and it's Fan Control. Power to the fans.
Are you ready for it?
Yeah! Welcome to JEEF the Bunny Savior. Or, you could have just said hero.
Yeah.
You're happy to be with you. I'm Jeff Cannata. I'm joined by some of my favorite people on the planet. Look who it is. Josh Macuga's back, ladies and gentlemen. Woo!
Hey, I missed all the
Patrick Dees. And a special bonus appearance by Patrick Dees' new glasses.
Woo! 100% more nerd.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back, Josh.
Well, thanks, Jeff. Last week I apologize for missing. I heard I missed an hour of falconry, and as we know, the next FCF season 3.0 is just Falcons. It's just 7-on-7 Falcon football, and not Atlanta Falcons, literal Falcons carrying footballs, because the literal Falcons might have more success than the actual Atlanta Falcons. Burn.
Thank you.
Ooh,
Burn.
Body.
Body.
I think an hour is being conservative. We went an hour 15 with the
It was
the falconing story.
Some say it was too much. Others, others call me a hero. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, clearly.
I one time went on a bachelor party, and we woke up the Saturday of the bachelor party, and the guy was like, "Hey, I got a Groupon for falconing if anybody wants to go." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, it's only like 30 minutes from here." And I was like, "Okay." So we went falconing. We all took edibles and let falcons land on our arm. And it was awesome.
And that man is a hero. That random stuff when you're just open to trying shit. You'll be talking about falconing for the rest of your life. You joke about that being the newest sport, but I have it on good authority that the hobby horse video that we made on social is way north of 1 million views at this point. So
yes,
we've pivoted our entire business to competitive hobby horsing.
I mean,
leave it up to the Germans, baby.
You go where the eyeballs are.
Correct.
Or horse balls. Wait, what? I mean, that's.
You remember Groupon?
Yeah.
Remember Groupon?
Yeah, it's still a thing, right?
That was a business model based on you forgetting the expiration date of things.
Correct. Yes,
Yeah.
That's the entire thing. That guy sold Groupon, made Groupon, sold it, got out. He said he sold it for like $150 million.
But she did sell for $150 million. He had an offer at the peak for like 1.7 with a billion dollars, and was like, no, still upside. And he sold it for a fraction. And still, don't get me wrong, $150 million, not bad. My point is, when you were like gonna almost clear $2 billion on your deal, and you think there's still more upside, just pump the brakes a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, you know what happened to him, Dees?
It expired.
His Groupon expired.
Wah, wah.
Jeff, he should have seen that coming with his new glasses, but
just woo. They look sharp.
You joke, but the world is now in high definition again. I had been this slow. If you'd asked me 2 weeks ago, do you need glasses? I'd be like, fuck no, absolutely not. And then this happened this week. Was looking at an ingredient.
You'd be like, no, grandma. You're like, I'm not your grandma. It's me, Jeff. Nerd.
Do you need hearing aids too? But no, I did this. This is a true story. So I was looking at an ingredient on a bottle, and I was like, no glasses. I can't read that. Took out my phone, took a picture, zoomed in on the picture, and I was like, I might need some glasses.
Oh God.
So it's just weird. That actually happened this week. It was crazy. So I was like, all right, well, maybe I should get glasses. And I got in there like, yeah, you definitely need glasses. You know, and they're like, read the top line. I was like, I can't read that top line.
I mean,
Not
I
great.
guess. E
Yeah,
the first
taking
one.
a swing.
Gotta love when Leighton comes in and he has this way of really cutting you deep with just 2 words going, oh God. That is how Leighton just insults.
Just you wait, youngin. Just you wait.
Just you wait.
Yeah,
it
but-
comes first all.
Yeah.
But I just didn't know. You know what I mean? It's that slow deterioration. I thought I was seeing just fine. I put my glasses on.
Yeah.
It was like the first time I saw something in 1080p. I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit, sports look like this? You can see
You're
the
like,
individual
trees have
players.
leaves? Trees have leaves on them? They're not just big balls of fur?
Just totally. It's been
I've been
very weird.
squinting for years. It's working for me.
Yeah, that's why I was.
Yeah.
You'd crush some glasses.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I could probably pull them. I want to get like the big De Niro glasses at the end of Casino.
Yes.
When you take them off.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want those
Yes.
ones.
Yeah.
Big Tyler Durden, just
Yes.
bangers, you know?
Yes, yes, that's what I want.
I'm
I
with
want
you.
the Elliot Gould in Ocean's 11 by the way.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sign me up.
No, notice I've only mentioned old dudes from casinos.
Yeah.
I want to be I want to be gambling and blind.
What's the 3rd race at Belmont? Yeah, I'll put 4 on Munchkin. Yeah.
Incredible.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you can name our show if you would like to put in suggestions for which this show should be named next week. We are fan controlled. You are they. So you get to decide what we're called. And
Isn't that a Shakespearean line? You are they.
you are
They
they.
are thou hast been they, and they will be shout. And
You know what? I 100% deserve that. I just 100% deserve it. I
Honestly, though-
said it, and as it came out of my mouth, I went, I hope none of those guys noticed I said
coming
that.
back. That's coming back to haunt me. Oh my God.
Elizabethan Jeef. Ah, 'tis nobler.
Forsooth,
Forsooth.
you
God.
all deserve. Anyway, you can put suggestions in the chat if you're watching us live on Twitch, and then at the end of the show, we'll pick our faves, and you'll vote, and whatever you vote on is what we're called. That's how it works, ladies and gentlemen.
So many of our friends are in the chat right now. Freddie Airmail, Woody the Duck, Peanut FCF. Like, we already have a good show name suggestion. Show name 100% More Nerd, which I think is a strong title.
I like old dudes in casinos from
Also
Peanut.
not bad.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Or the Elizabethan era.
The Elizabeth. That's very funny.
You know, Josh misses a
Airmail.
week. He comes out firing. You know
No,
what
that
I
was
mean? He just
pretty
had a lot of
Airmail.
just
That was-
pent up, like, woo, oh.
Yep.
That's good.
100% more nerd. This weekend is Comic-Con, down in San Diego,
Sure
something
is.
we've all been to, except for maybe Leighton. Leighton, I don't think. Have you ever been to a San
Too
Diego?
cool. He's too cool.
Yeah, too
No,
cool.
it comes to Atlanta every year, and I keep missing it.
Okay, we'll just break it down for you.
Yeah, do that.
Here's what Comic-Con is. There's 2 types of people that go to Comic-Con. The people that have to go there and work, like JEEF and I would have to do, and then we would like bounce from party to party, black out, and then do it all over again, right? Like you would go to this
Accurate.
party, and whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then on the other side is the people that actually go there to do Comic-Con. Like they go and they walk the floor and they go to all the things and they do all the things. And those collections of people, what they do is they swap germs for 4 straight days. They either make out, they touch each other, they sweat on each other, they're in line dressed as Obi-Wan. And then they give you that flu. And then for the next week after you leave Comic-Con, everybody is sick.
Yeah.
Everybody.
The entire world is ill.
I've heard it's the only petri dish you pay to attend.
Paid to attend.
I'd also like to present a slightly different insight if you've not been. Imagine walking down the street and deciding to yourself, you know what I would love? I would love to get, I don't know, like a taco or maybe some wings or something. I'm going to stop in to this delicious looking diner. And then when you walk in the door, you realize, oh, this is no longer a diner. This is AMC Presents The Walking Dead experience.
Oh, no, I've seen that side because my job is downtown. Like my old job was downtown. So we come into the cafeteria and it's like Darth Vader's eating chicken nuggets with the Hulk. And everybody from Sailor Moon is playing Spade the entire Grand Theft Auto cast. And you're like, you know what? I actually want to be. I'm going. I want to be.
Hey, I love a nerd. I love a nerd. I am a nerd. But I will say that it's the corporate like takeovers of the places where it's like, can I get any of your regular menu? No, all we have are severed human heads.
Yeah.
Really? Is that
take a medium?
Is it a burger? Yes, it's just a burger. But today it's a severed human head. All right.
Sir, it's not The Walking Dead. It's the Tacoing Dead. And you're like, oh, okay. Is it Carnitas? No, it's Daryl Neatus. You're like, oh, Jesus. It's the Norman Reedus, the Carnitas. Like, God damn it.
Daryl Reedus Carnitas is not a show name. What are we doing this for?
Do you guys know who Ruth Negga is, the actress? She's she was in that show Preacher. Okay.
Yeah.
So I had this running joke, like every Monday at Collider, we would pitch ideas for sketches. And as you guys can imagine, my ideas were always just puns. Okay. They were just puns. Right?
Yeah, no.
So one Monday it came in and I was like, what if we got Ruth Negga and she owned a rutabaga farm and it was just Ruth Negga's rutabagas? And they were like, well, what's the sketch? And I was like, nothing. She just owns a rutabaga.
That's the whole, I just explained it. I just explained to you what the sketch is.
So I'm in Hall H and they're doing the Preacher panel, and you can go up and ask questions at the end of every panel, right? And so my buddy's like, dude, you got to ask Ruth Negga about the rutabagas. And I was like, done and done.
Got it.
Got it. So I go up there and, there's like 5,000 people in Hall H. And I was like, hey, Ruth, Josh Macuga, big fan. So I recently bought a rutabaga farm, and I was wondering if I could use your name as like a marketing thing, and we could team up and run this farm together, and we just call it Ruth Negga's Rutabagas. And the place went fucking silent. Silent.
Wasted on these people.
And she gets to the microphone. She goes, now what is a rutabaga? And I was like, I don't know really. It's like
I don't actually have any clue.
And she's like, "But you own the farm?" And I was like, "No,
I'm gonna go sit down now.
And I sit down, and you guys all know Mark Ellis. Mark Ellis is like, "Ooh, tough crowd." I was like,
that's so good. Oh man, but you know what? Saturday Night Live did John Hamm's John Hamm, so
I know.
Come on.
I know.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jeef.
Thank you.
The Elizabeth Jeef era will never end. It is forever in my heart.
All right. Well, speaking of things,
smooth, incredible.
Incredible.
I mean, things we love, like there's the Comic-Con, the things we're excited about, like Comic-Con properties.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're gonna do some top 10 lists. I understand the community has been doing top 10 lists.
Yes.
We're gonna have top 10 lists. My understanding is, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but Dees loves a list.
I love a list.
That's my understanding.
This entire show is one giant Dees loves a list.
Yeah, I was like 2 a.m. and like inspiration struck. I was like, look, it's about right at the midway point of the year. What if we did a show that was all about our favorite stuff from the first half, and then at the end of the year, we can see what made it onto the list. So we're doing a top 10 list of our favorite things in 2023, and there are no rules. Nay. Nary a one.
No rule. Okay.
You can. All it has to be one of your favorite things. That could include shows, video games, movies. We talked about sunsets, rainbows. I don't care if it was your favorite thing. I want it on the list. Honestly, I do hope that some of you guys have some sporting experiences, and I would assume that due to the nature of the show, some sports are going to creep into this. So I want to know what your top 10 favorite things are of the year, and how it's going to work is this: if we go around the horn and one of us has that same thing as somebody else, but higher on our list, we're going to put a pin in it and we're going to wait till it comes back around. And then we're going to dive into that thing when we get back to that person.
Jay's face really up. Dang, I forgot to drop my top 10 Macuga moments. Well,
you still have time, Jay. 9 of them are on this episode.
Yeah.
Plenty of time.
I will say, Jeff, I meant to download the video late, and I'm really sorry, but I had a full reenactment of when Dees was inspired to do this.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did. Jess, your lovely wife called me, And she was like, Patrick woke up middle of the night. He screamed your name, and then he started texting you. It was really weird. But she described it to me. And so what happened was Dees went to the eye doctor. The eye doctor said, your eyes are horrendous.
Shot.
Go get the glasses. Okay. So Dees gets home. He has dinner with his lovely family. He throws in his favorite video game, Street Fighter 2 on PlayStation, the original PlayStation.
Turbo.
Yeah. And he's looking at his glasses, Jeff. And the glasses are really looking back at him mostly.
They are. They are.
I think it's time you put these on your face. And he's like, hey, it's not time yet. It's not time yet. Family goes to bed. It's that time of night when it's just quiet enough that you hear like a ooh, ooh. He puts on his glasses. And a new Patrick was born out of it.
Phoenix rising from the ashes.
No longer was it just a plain list.
No
longer was it just your favorite cantaloupe moments from 2022. No. No. This is 2023's first half anything list, Jeff.
You know why?
Is inspired.
You know why? You know why, Josh?
Why?
Because you can see farther now.
It's funny.
See it all.
I get glasses and all I do is look back.
That's right. You can see all the way to the end of 2023 now.
Leighton is really upset he even joined the show today.
I know. He's like, what? No, why did you drag me?
Last week was testing his patience, and this week it's just all.
Oh man, I think I speak for Leighton and the entire audience. When last week was a blast.
No, it was really fun.
It was
actually really fun.
Little insight into domestic Jeff. It was pretty great. I was riveted. I should have brought snacks.
Dees loves a list. Dees loves a list.
I love them.
These lists.
Oh, this is so good. I'm pretty excited. You guys have your list ready?
Got them ready. I kind of wish I kind of wish I had gone farther afield into some weird wackiness. I just got so many good. It's been a good year for media.
Same. Yeah, so it was I'm with you. I did some smuggling, the old Dees smuggle where I get like a 2 for a 3 for. I'm like number 4, all of this group of things. So there's some of that coming. I also have some honorable mentions at the end, and I really want to get to a lot of the Discord list. So let's get to them. I want to start with Leighton. What is your number 10 favorite thing from the first half of 2023?
It would have to be the Pope AI photos trend on Twitter. Pope Francis in the puffy white jacket.
Yes,
that was probably my favorite moment. Yeah, that was. That's my number 10.
I gotta think of more shit like that. This is good. It's more outside the box.
Yeah, that's
lateral thinking.
Yeah. I thank you for putting that back on my radar. I had totally forgotten about that, but I'm smiling just thinking about it. It was incredible. What a weird moment. It's the best.
We need more like making fun of the Pope stuff. I know like the Catholic Church is known for their comedy, right? But really like more Pope stuff.
Yeah, I feel like if that had been like Louis C.K., the Pope would have clapped back, but because it was scary AI, the Pope's like, I'm just running with it. You know what I mean?
I think that Pope thing is going to be like the canary in the coal mine. You know, we're going to be like, wasn't it so quaint that we all got fooled by that, and where now literally there's no truth that exists and everything is fake. Yeah,
totally.
Yeah.
Show name making fun of the Pope stuff. Yeah.
I don't really want the Vatican's wrath on the show. Joshua, what do you got? What's your number 10?
Well, I was gonna go with that time that Jeff and Patrick sent me 500 straight text messages of their AI face, but since Leighton did the Pope AI, I'm gonna go this happened extremely recent to me, and by recent I mean on Monday night. Okay, guys. I went to Chili's, and for the first time in probably 15 years, I had the chicken crispers at Chili's. And let me tell you something. They have perfected the chicken tender. It is beyond what I thought was possible with fried batter and chicken. And they have 7 different dipping sauces along with the chicken crispers. And not only that, Jeffrey, 4, 5, or 6 chicken crispers in a basket.
I don't know about you guys, but that was just his number 10. I cannot wait for the rest of
It
this.
goes
Right,
up from
right.
here. It goes
I
up
mean,
from here.
that's the-
So I got to know more about these crispers. What makes them so perfect?
yeah.
Yeah, you know when you get a chicken finger and there's way too much breading?
Oh,
Yes.
this
Oh,
is
of
my-
course. Of course.
yes. I
Bane of
rail
my
against-
existence.
That's not these. It's almost like a hot dog of chicken bread. It's so much chicken. It is like that much. It is like a meaty,
Okay.
like pulled
Okay.
like cock of chicken.
Yeah, this is getting.
Why don't they say that on
really-
the menu?
They really should.
It's like a John Holmes of chicken fingers, and you get 4 of them.
Yeah. Wow. Or John Holmes. One for every orifice. I definitely would not think that based on the name. If I hear
Yes.
No.
chicken crisper, I think breading fucking
Yeah,
everywhere.
Yeah, yes, totally. They over index on the
It's got-
crispness. Like,
yeah.
is there chicken
got
in it?
Shit coming off of it,
Yeah,
hanging
I'm
off of
with
it.
you.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, yeah.
Jeff, it's the classic Chili's switcheroo. You think one thing, they
Man.
give you
You
another.
know what? Fool me once, Chili's. Shame on you. Fool me twice. Shame on me.
It's on you. That one's on you. Jeff. That one's on you.
They're officially never sponsoring the show, but that's okay.
Yeah, you just glizzied their chicken.
Man,
Blizzard. It's
that's
a blizzard.
incredible.
Oh god.
Man, I got to come up with better stuff
I know,
on the
I know.
fly
I-
for my
I-
list because my list is boring.
Mine is too. What's
my
your number 10, Jeff?
My number 10 is the show Beef. Beef.
Yeah, higher on my list. Higher on my list.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
We will wait.
Oh,
Excellent.
wow.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's a.
Oh.
It's a.
Oh.
It's a
Glad
good one.
nobody else had chicken crispers on there.
I didn't even bother checking. So,
You,
all right.
you know what? Second half of 2023, though, might make an appearance.
Come in
'cause
hot. Oh,
I'm
yeah.
visiting Chili's
Now we
immediately.
know. You've been warned. You're on notice. That's right.
I'm gonna call Chili's corporate. I'm gonna make a full commercial of me just eating crispers.
Man, shoot that. Let's just. What's the worst that can happen?
What's
Shoot
the
it.
worst that could happen?
Shoot it. Shoot it. Let's do this. We'll play it on this show over and over again. That's our new opening. Just you eating chicken tenders. My number 10 is a sports moment, and it was one that was unexpected. For me, number 10 was the NCAA Women's Finals this year with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark just trash talking. You know what I mean? That was so exciting, and it like honestly, I've never really cared too much about the women's NCAA tournament. All of a sudden, it was like riveting, must-see TV, and that back and forth was just awesome. And I think it was good for sports. It was good for the women's tournament. It was such a fun couple of days when we're all 4 of us would show up and be like, "Did you see that?" It was incredible.
Caitlin Clark
Yeah.
she's the next big thing.
Yeah, truly, true. And what a coming out party.
What?
So-
That's partially on my list, actually. Yeah, that
Oh,
was-
sorry. Okay, all right. Well, we'll dive deeper when we get to yours.
Okay.
What's your number 9, Layton?
All right. So this is an Atlanta thing. All right. There are these girls who are getting paid to remove boots off of cars, and they made like a whole TikTok business off of removing boots off of cars. It was like a whole thing here in Atlanta.
As
So-
like a charitable
Amazing.
action or by like
no,
a-
no, like
No.
you get booted a lot in Atlanta. There's just so many parking lots. So they created a business of getting paid to remove boots, so that people don't have to actually pay the boot man.
Oh,
That's
okay.
incredible.
They,
I-
wow, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah. It
And
was
did
a
they
big
make
thing.
like any cool TikToks? Like were they dancing around the boots or anything? Or like
Yeah,
these
yeah.
boots? were
Like, it was
made
literally a
for what?
whole viral thing here in Atlanta. The boot girls.
Boots with
They
the
were called.
Damn.
Are they still like in business, or is it
No,
like was
no.
there,
I
like
mean, I don't know
legal
what it
action
is.
pretty fast?
There's a lot of thieves. Like there's a rapper right now that just created a whole TikTok song about how to scam a bank. So they keep making TikToks and they get shut down 2 weeks later. So
I mean, you
I
got
was one time dating a girl and we were driving by a bank. This was in like 2010. She goes, "You know what? I don't think it's that hard to rob a bank." And I was like,
I mean,
"It's pretty fucking hard."
Yeah, but like, didn't you guys when you were? I mean, whatever. This is a little insight. I used to, as a teenager, after the movie Heat, I used to think about robbing banks all the time. Like, I couldn't be that hard, right? Minimize casualties. Like, let's have a heist. We used to think all the time about our heist crew. We'd be like, yeah, we definitely want Leighton. Leighton's got to be part of this crew. Or like, yeah, that guy. I don't trust that guy. Fuck that guy. We'd always think about our ideal crew, what time of day, how we would get to know the bank manager. We'd cut him in. Like, I spent a lot of my youth planning
that's-
robbing banks.
I think that makes sense. I think
Yeah,
that
shit, doesn't
yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah.
Josh, what do you got for your number 9?
Let's see. My number 9, the movie Cocaine Bear. Now,
Really? Wow.
Jeff told me straight up, it's not that good. Everybody I talk to is not that good. But let me tell you, with the right amount of Jack Daniels, weed edibles, and energy, Cocaine Bear is a banger. It is a banger.
Okay.
My brother and I watched that whole thing.
All right. Cocaine.
Is it stupid? Yeah.
I mean,
is it bad? Is it a bad movie? Yeah. Is it awesome? Yeah. It's fucking sick.
And like inspirational, right? Like, don't you say like be the bear? Like that's your like
Yes.
go
Be
take
the
on the
bear.
world, man. What a
Go
value
do
add!
all of the cocaine and be the bear.
Be the bear. Incredible.
Kids, don't do drugs.
No,
but if you're a bear, think about it.
right, I think it's biologically safer if
Yes.
you're for a grizzly. You know,
Yes.
Jeff, what's your number 9, buddy?
Man, I gotta come up with better stuff. I went with Poker Face, the show Poker Face.
Okay.
I loved very much. It's a really bizarre show in that it's a whodunit where you know right at the beginning whodunit, and then the person who's figuring it out has to figure out whodunit. It's more of a why done it.
How catch 'em?
How catch 'em? That's better. How catch 'em?
It's a
love
no
that
watch
show.
'em for Josh, man.
It's very fun. I liked it.
Did you sleep on it, Josh?
No, I watched
pretty
every
great.
episode.
Oh, okay.
Amanda loved
I
it.
was like,
Amanda loved
it's
it,
fun.
and I suffered
fun.
through it. And she was like, "Oh, this is a fun one."
It had its ups and
Yeah,
downs.
Natasha Lyonne, it's
National
hit and miss
treasure.
for me. It's hit and miss for me. National Treasure is reserved for Nicolas Cage and his movies. Natasha Lyonne, more of like a Midwestern reward, I guess. Like I wouldn't say National
I think
Treasure.
if you can write for her, like, do you know what I mean? Like, to me,
Yeah.
Poker Face felt like it was bespoke, built for her, just as did
100%.
Russian Doll. Clearly, I think in other things when people are writing and then she just gets cast, it doesn't always work for me.
She's an amazing human in that if you told me she was 60 years old, I would believe you.
Same.
But if you told me she was 22 years old, I also would believe you. You
Same.
know, like
Timeless.
she's an enigma. You know,
Yep.
Leighton and I both confused by that statement, Jeff. But I'm going to go with you because you know what? When you say it, you sell it. And I'm
Like,
on.
I was on board.
That's why you cast Jeff when you cast him. He sells it.
rarely and for very little money.
What's your number 9, Jeffrey?
Number 8.
8. No,
8.
number
We're
9.
up to. I just did my 9. That was Poker Face.
Oh, that's Poker Face. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. So
So
my
Leighton
9.
and- oh, you're
My
nine.
9 is Diablo 4.
Yeah,
It's been a very long time. Is it on your list, Jeff?
it is not on my list,
Okay.
but it almost was.
It's the long anticipated next title in the Diablo franchise. I couldn't wait to click on things and watch the numbers go up because that's all that game is find better shit to make the numbers go up, to find better shit to watch the numbers go up. But loving every minute of it.
Season starts today.
Yeah.
A new
What does
season.
Diablo mean? What are you like? What's it? What is
It's
it?
about the devil. You fight the devil.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So you
Diablo
can
is
dress
the
as
devil.
the Pope guy. You can the AI Pope.
Oh, that
Yeah,
was
I would-
a fun name.
If
I
you're
would
lucky
pay
enough to find the
$20.
puffer jacket as a drop, then you're
Yes. Diablo.
Yeah, I
It's
would-
a Pope.
Diablo.
Running around with a pope,
Diablo.
like
Like his hat is a weapon. His little staff
blazing
is a
crosses.
weapon.
Just
Yeah.
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 These games write themselves. I don't like. Why aren't you guys in game dev?
Yes.
Layton, what do you got for number 8?
all right. This happened at a Hawks game for me. So
Great.
there was a couple that decided to get daiquiris and full pizzas each, and they were wearing all white Air Force Ones, and one of them spilled their daiquiri on the other one's Air Force.
Oh,
No.
Ruined the game.
terrible.
It ruined the game, but it made my day. It made
What was the
Yeah,
reaction? Did they
that's
just
my
get up
number
and leave?
no, they sat in it, and she was pissed. But because the rows at the Hawks Arena is so tight, so like once you're in your seat, you don't want to get up anyways.
Right.
Man,
that's
Leighton's
that's
got the
number
coolest
one.
list so
I know.
far. I like Leighton's list a lot.
Running away.
Leighton makes a solid list.
Yeah.
It's true. Makes it
It's a
better.
really solid list.
Thank you.
Josh, what do you got? Number 8.
Okay, my number 8 is that part in The Last of Us when the giant monster comes out of the ground because
That was cool. Yeah.
like
because
was
yes.
cool.
right? The show itself, awesome. But when that city or that town, all of a sudden the ground just and I didn't know that any of the infected could get to the point where they're basically Diablo, you know? And And then it becomes the overnight meme, like GIF sensation, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
It's like, how you feeling this morning? And it's just like that guy coming out of the ground like that. I mean, come on.
Mondays, am I right?
Yeah, right? Yeah. So good.
Incredible.
So good.
We'll talk more about that, I'm sure, a little bit later.
Yeah.
Jeffrey, what do you got for number 8?
I had Kunk on Earth.
Oh, higher on my list.
Higher on Dees' list.
Okay.
So my number 8, we can move beyond, is the Dead Space remake. Huge Dead Space fan. Again, another video game, but it was fun to go back and revisit kind of the Dead Space world in HD because I got the glasses on. But just gorgeous remake, very fun game.
Is that about the brain of my ex-girlfriend?
Correct. It is. Yeah, it's good. Crazy story. I had no idea.
On the hill.
I finished it. It was wild.
Space between her ears. Yeah.
Just it's a very short game.
You're welcome.
All right, Layton, what do you got for 7, buddy?
Wait, before we get to 7, we need a word from our.
Let,
We got a word from our sponsor here, Dees. Today's lists are brought to you by other fan lists.
Yes.
We put this out in our Discord, and fans have given us some lists. This one comes from Tuesday Designs. His fan list, top 10 Nintendo 64 games. Number 10, Donkey Kong 64. Number 9, Star Wars Shadow of the Empire. Number 8, Pokemon Snap. Number 7, Cruisin' USA. Number 6, Mario Parties 1, 2, and 3. Number 5, that's a cheat. Number 5, Zelda Majora Mask.
It's a smuggle, boys. Get the terminology right. It's a smuggle. Smuggled it in.
Smuggled like a muggle. Number 4, Super Mario 64. Number 3, Pokemon Stadium 2. Number 2, Diddy Kong Racing. And number 1, of course, GoldenEye 007.
Ocarina of Time didn't make it?
That doesn't make any sense. I also would have had that.
I don't see it on the list.
Boys, have you gone back and played GoldenEye? Or Leighton, have you ever played GoldenEye?
Mm-mm.
No.
I know the music goes crazy
because it's a banger. Dun, 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 that slaps. That game does not play well in a year of our Lord 2023. It is not.
Oh no. It did not age well. Yeah.
No.
Well, it was doing stuff before we could do stuff. That's the problem. You know?
Yeah.
Freedom Fighter. He gives us a list of the top 20. He's trying to watch 120 movies in 2023. So these are the best movie he's watched so far in 2023. At number 10, Clue. That's an oldie but goodie. Number 9, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Number 8, Creed 3. Number 7, The Prestige. Mine, we're really bouncing between new and old here. Number 6. These are movies that he has watched in 2023.
Great.
Number 6, Stand By Me. Number 5, Con Air. Oh, that's a classic.
Con Air, let's go.
Oh, so good. Lady Bird at number 4. Drop Dead Gorgeous at 3. Number 2, Avatar 2, Way of Water.
Nice.
And number 1, Jeff and our favorite, RRR.
RRR. You guys are those two guys.
Yes. Done.
Freddie Airmail in the chat saying best show names of 2023, 5 through 1. Number 5, Pickle Mitch. Number 4, Tiny Computer Hands. Number 3, Child Mosh Pit. That was so good.
Yeah.
Number 2, Vegan Nightmare. And number 1, Avatar.
Avatar. I remember that.
Those are all very good.
They're all Freddie. Freddie's a legend.
So good.
Ruthless Cutie in the chat saying GoldenEye, Perfect Dark are the reasons I play inverted, and hard same Ruthless Cutie.
I don't know.
So it ruined you, is what you're saying.
I mean, not more ruined or made me so much superhuman.
It's just you become a weird pariah that can't just pick up a controller and play a thing anymore.
I literally cannot. It's absolutely.
It's not a compliment to those games.
It's kind of the worst. I'm just like, well, this game doesn't work. It's impossible.
I'm just waiting until my eyeballs become VR so I can get back into video games.
Yeah.
You got a lot of good stuff waiting for you when you get into it, man. I tell you what, a lot of good stuff.
The good news is that Dees can play VR and his glasses will be the same size.
That's true. That's true. Hey,
we got to keep this rolling if we're going to get through this. Lane, what do you got for number 7, buddy?
All right,
number 7 moment of 2023.
This is a good one. Everybody's watched Succession, right?
Of course.
Yeah. Higher on my list.
Same.
Logan Roy dies. That was a good moment for me. That episode was really good. Only because they didn't make it a dramatic death. It was like, oh, he's dead. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
So, Yeah,
The way they did his death was unlike anything you'll ever see on TV. So
But the
Exactly.
most like things, the most like life, I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah,
Totally.
yeah, and just that confusion that happens right afterward. Nobody's entirely clear what to do or how to talk, and no, it wasn't Logan's. It was Roman's confused. Like his insistence that maybe he's still alive. Like just this,
his
like this
denial,
holding
right?
on to this
Yeah.
through the entire flight, and then when Kendall said, I just have to say this. He said, "What we do now will always be what we did when he died."
Yeah.
It's something that I've thought about forever. What we do, what will always be what we did, and I thought about that
yeah.
and like in a lot of different contexts.
And that's a lot.
Incredible moments, right?
I didn't put any Succession
show.
stuff on my list, and I kind of wish it was an honorable mention, but that episode sticks with me in a weird.
incredible.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll Mount Rushmore episode until it's just phenomenal.
Yes.
It's great. What do you got, Josh? Number 7.
Number 7, the last episode of Jury Duty. I thought that Jury Duty changed the game in TV this year. And
Emmy nominated Jury Duty. Come on.
They're chasing Jury Duty. Like I guarantee you, pitch rooms for the next whenever the strikes are over. Be like it's like Jury Duty, but with a restaurant. And you're like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
It's
so much fun and so hopeful. You know what I mean? It was like one of those things that like it could have been a deeply cynical look at the nature of people, but like he continued to do right. It was awesome. I just what an uplifting.
I will tell you,
show.
I literally pitched a show a few months ago, and a reality show, and literally the person I was pitching it to was like, that's a cool, interesting idea. Have you seen Jury Duty? And I was like, yeah. They're like, maybe how can you make it more like that? I was like, well, it's a different idea, but okay.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so that's already happening.
Josh, what's your 7?
I already did 7.
Oh, you did 7?
You have to do 7.
I got to do
Jeff-
7.
No, it's Jeff does 7. Sorry, I'm a little slow.
I'm going with Fleischman is in Trouble, which is an amazing show, an amazing show that blew my mind. It is about a marriage, and you see it from two sides, and you believe that you know exactly who is in the right and who is not, and then your mind is changed. It is just extraordinary.
Wait, which show is this one, and why I'm not going to watch this one? What
Fleischman is in Trouble. It's
yes, yeah.
It's Claire Danes and Jesse Eisenberg. Yeah,
I watched
Very
the pilot.
It is
very good.
It's heavy. It's not a fun hang, but it's
for
an
like
incredible show.
3 or 4 episodes, it's a fun hang, and then it
That's
gets
true.
real dark, real fast. But yeah,
I mean,
I just have a lot of trouble with I can't Eisenberg. I just can't.
I
Really?
like it. Genius.
I like him. He's good.
Well, how dare you, Jeff?
All right,
Dees.
you're
All right,
number
my
7.
number
Dees.
7, and I want Jeff to start off with this. Kunk on Earth, and I would love for you to talk about it, Jeff. Like, what did you love about Kunk on Earth? Because I think you were the one that introduced me to this.
It's hilarious. It's hilarious. It's a faux documentary, and I love shows, or I love comedy where the people are making fun of themselves, right? They are the butt of the joke, and especially when you're interacting with real human beings. I hate it when we're just like making fun of people and kind of making them feel like idiots. When it's the idiot who's the fictional person is the idiot, and this show does that so well. It's very funny.
And just such a surprise too. It came out of nowhere for me. I'd never heard of it. I think you mentioned in passing, you're like, don't sleep on the show. And I saw the first few minutes, and they have the best modern version of, we talked about it a lot, but the Team America, the vomit scene, where that moment jumps the shark and it's not funny. You're like waiting for it to get over until it's funny, like so funny again. They have a bit in this show that keeps getting run into the ground, and it gets progressively funnier every time, and it just kills me. It's genius.
The show is called Kunk on Earth. It's on Netflix, I believe.
Yes, you'll love it.
It's 4 episodes. It is so stupid and so funny. It's the most stupid, funny show I've watched in a long time. These guys recommended it.
I'm literally making a list of every show. I have RRR, Jury Duty.
It's stupid, but it's like
list.
whip smart. You do, but it's like it's whip smart, right? Like it knows the level of whatever. You watch the show. We have to speed through the rest of this.
Yeah.
Cool. So I think we have to move a little bit faster here with the number 6, and then I want to get some fan lists here. Number 6, Leighton, what you got?
The gasoline wasp trend on TikTok. where people
I
are
don't even know what
holding
that
like
is.
Me
a
neither.
cup of gasoline over wasp nest, and they all just die immediately. So if you have a wasp nest, just get a cup of gasoline.
If
put
you
it-
have a wasp nest,
yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
that's a southern thing. Okay, fine. But if you have a wasp nest outside your home, just get a cup of gasoline, put it around, and then the wasp just drop like
Wow.
immediately. Yeah,
Uh,
there's a lot of
Dees,
people who've been doing it. Yeah,
Dees says if you have a wasp nest, move.
Yeah, just nah, it's not worth
And if
it.
you've got a fly's nest, get a vacuum.
Yeah, whatever.
Just leave. Josh, what's your number 7? 6.
Number 6 is Bad Boys 4 started filming somewhere in Georgia. Will we ever see this movie based solely on strikes and writer strikes? I don't know.
chance.
But the fact that it was filming at one point gives all of us Bad Boys fans hopes that we will
Wait,
see
I have a
Marcus
question.
and Mike again. Yes.
I have a question. If the strike goes on long enough to where like your movies can be made, would y'all ever recreate these movies? Like, would you all create your own version of the movie? If
Yeah,
that makes
like
sense.
if somebody gave me a camcorder and we just did
Yeah,
it.
it was like
If
Bad
someone
Boys
gave
was
you a
supposed to come
Michael
out, but
Bay.
it never came out. But like, would
So
you
we just
make
make our own
Bad Boys?
4?
Yeah.
The unauthorized version of Bad Boys 4 starring Josh Macuga? Sign me up.
Yeah. I'm
Just
both
ask-
characters.
Just ask ChatGPT to write it.
Yeah, it's true. Jeffrey, what's your number 6?
My number 6 is also a 4. John Wick 4.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet.
What?
Never
You
seen
gotta
it.
do that.
I know. I've
It's
slept on it. I just need a solid 3.5 hours to sit down and watch
One of
something.
the greatest pure action movies I've ever seen in my life. Enough
Can't
said.
wait.
Yep.
Can't wait.
Like-
My number 6 is LeBron breaking the all-time scoring record was just
Oh.
so cool to watch, man. We all knew it was coming. That moment where Abdul-Jabbar handed him the basketball is just it's iconic. It's iconic. I will never forget where I was when I saw it. It's just so cool. And then like LeBron, it just couldn't happen to a nicer guy seems to be not the right language, but like it's just like what a good dude. I don't know, man. I hard not to root for, and so it was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, magical moment. I wish that I always wish that those things happen on like sort of bigger stages or bigger shots, like game-winning shot. He just broke the record.
1000%.
That's never gonna happen.
No,
like,
it's not. Just like Logan Roy dying. What are you gonna do? Let's go through the 5 and then let's do another quick family.
Got
That's
you,
cool.
got you.
Number 5. What do you got, Leighton?
It would have to be. There's a new Chick-fil-A by my house. There it is.
Okay,
Oh.
okay. Glad that made. That's surprised it's not higher, Leighton.
You know what? Actually, that's higher on my
That's
list.
I know.
I'm gonna move to Leighton's house.
Yeah, that's-
Yeah, really right up the street now. So.
Good God, I can never convince Amanda to go to Chick-fil-A, so I just go by myself, and it's amazing.
Really?
Chicken is good.
That's the
Love
right
that chicken.
play.
Gotta have that chicken.
Yeah,
Have that
Dave's
chicken.
hot. What do you got, Josh? 5?
My number 5 is about 2 months ago. I caught a lizard. Now, you guys don't think those lizards are so fast and they run all over this property, but I dove and caught it. I was a little drunk and I caught it. It was like a Saturday evening, and I've never felt more like a man in my life. I caught the lizard with my bare hands. It's like this big. I caught it.
I just
guys.
You,
level up.
Jeff.
Yeah. I mean, come at me. Come at me, man.
Jeffrey, what's your 5?
My 5 is Across the Spider-Verse,
Ooh,
which is a fantastic movie. Fantastic movie. I loved it, and I think it's my favorite movie of the year so far. It's great.
It's my honorable mention. I struggle to figure out where I would put it. It's
Yeah.
incredible. My number 5 is the video game Jedi Survivor. We were fresh off of Andor at the end of last year. I was having hope in my heart for good Star Wars stories. Not only do we get a great Star Wars story, but also it's this incredible Jedi simulation. Some of the coolest set pieces in video games. So very fun game. Highly recommend.
All right, let me rattle off some fan lists here for
Cool.
you, DZ.
Thanks, sir.
Jay Spacely giving his top 10 sports event of 2023. Number 10, UFC 287. Number 9, the 2023 Stanley Cup Playoffs. Number 8, the 2023 Kentucky Derby. Number 7, the 2023 World Baseball Classic. Number 6, the 2023 College Football National Championship. Number 5, the 2023 NBA Finals. Number 4, the UFC 285. Number 3, 2023 Wimbledon. Number 2, Domingo Germán's perfect game, Germán. And number 1, Super Bowl 52. 57. 57.
I wish I knew any of those UFCs.
Yeah, I don't watch UFC. And then Peanut gave his top 10 WWE moments of the first half of 2023, and I would read through them, but I won't because I refuse. No, I'm kidding.
because it's
Rhea
wrestling.
Ripley winning something, Bad Bunny defeating somebody, Io Sky doing something, Jay Uso doing something, Shane Baszler doing something, Sami Zayn doing something, Seth Rollins doing something, Jimmy Uso doing something, Cody Rhodes doing something, and Sami Zayn doing something again. How's that?
Incredible.
I now
Pretty
have
good.
my
Incredible.
Pretty good.
number
Very
one.
clear.
I have my
Very
number
clear.
one now. I know what it's going to be. But
All
I know
right,
what my number one is going to be.
Lane, why don't you give us your number 4 and then your number 3 so we can get
Layton's
through
over there
couple more
sweating,
rounds.
making
I
new
know.
lists.
Oh
I
man,
love it. It's in real
number
time,
4
just genius.
just happened to me. So Atlanta Beltline is the long walking thing. There was a lady who was reading the Bible to people, and this guy out of nowhere just goes in the middle of her saying "Jesus will love you," says "cold margaritas," and he's like trying to sell them. So it was the most Atlanta moment on the Beltline. So that's my number 4.
Incredible. Okay,
Yeah.
what's your number 3?
Oh, Michael Keaton returns as Batman in the Flash.
Yeah,
Really good.
that's such a
Moment.
fun moment.
Yeah.
Such a fun moment, dude. It was incredible. And you want to get nuts?
Jeff, the show poll is up. Do you want to tell the
I
people?
saw that show name. You can vote right now to decide what we're called next week. Your options are Norman Reedus Carnitas, Stu Baker's Studebakers, Edible Falconry, Old Dudes in Casinos, or The Gang Robs a Bank.
Oh, I'd be great with that last one. Considering we actually had people tune in to Vegan Nightmare to understand what it's about. Dudes rob a bank. Sounds amazing. Jeffrey, Josh, what is your 4 and 3?
Yeah, 4 and 3. Number 4 is Daisy Jones and the Six. They say Pittsburgh before every show they go out, but the show itself was my favorite
that's
series
cool.
of the year so far. It's not
Really?
even close.
I know you
Wow,
liked
I
it. I
gotta
didn't
watch
realize.
that.
Yeah, all right.
gotta
That
watch
just
that.
moved up my list.
100%.
Good.
And number 3 for me is John Rahm winning the Masters and Phil Mickelson going for the handshake and him cold snubbing him right outside. Right outside. Also, John Rahm just he's like one of us. He's kind of overweight. He's got a beard. Like he doesn't look like he's just like he shouldn't be the best golfer on the planet, but he is. And that's what I like about him. And he swears a lot when he's on the course. Again, like me.
Like you. It's basically you.
Basically me.
That's amazing. Jeff, what do you got for 4 and 3?
I have the final season of Succession at number 4, the entire season, amazing, and season 2 of The Bear at number 3.
I'm on that now.
I don't know if there's much to say about Succession. I also have Succession as my my number 3. That entire season was just a masterpiece. Literally, what a so difficult to stick the landing, and I thought they stuck it on every conceivable way. Just.
But I'm the oldest boy.
Oh my god, that line. Where I think I could just. If this just doesn't happen, I just think I think I could die. I think about that all the time.
Funny.
All the time. So that's my number 3. My number 4 was actually a smuggle. It was Netflix surprises this year. I got a pretty good handle of what's coming down the pipe pop culturally. I did not see Beef or Kunk on Earth happening. So we hit Kunk earlier, but the Beef was a show that I didn't know was coming. It was Stephen Yoon, Ali Wong.
So
it's this
good.
war of escalation. If you don't know the premise, it's a near road rage incident, and people just keep taking it to some bonkers places in a way that I kept thinking, well, they don't go bigger than that, and they do. It's incredible.
Really good.
Cool. Let's hit our 2s and 1s. Leighton, what do you got for number 2?
All right. Both of LSU's national titles, women's basketball and baseball.
Let's go.
So that's mine.
Let's
And
go.
then my number 1 is when Josh and I said wrestling's the dumbest sport, and we got
5 minutes
we got
ago.
destroyed in the comments, but I loved it. I loved it.
And I will stay on that mountain, that high horse,
Now not.
whatever you want to do. It's trash activity for garbage people. Okay. My number 2 and 1, the Bear episode Forks, I think is
That's
the
where
best.
I got it as my number 2. Talk about it.
It's the best episode of TV maybe in the last 5 years. It's so good. It sits with me. I think about that smudge all the time. We never even saw the smudge. Nobody even owned up to the smudge, but I think about that smudge all the time.
More of that, chef. Like, dude, I think about all the time the phone call that he makes to his ex-wife where she's getting reengaged. And how just absolutely sublime. Like he threads that needle in a way that he's clearly devastated but wants good things for her. And it just felt so human in a way that and I talked about a lot of the show. I also, Richie's I don't want to talk about what happens and avoid some spoilers here, but like I rooted for him in a way that I root for sports teams, and that I yelled at the screen like I do when I'm watching sports. Like when Kobe just hit a big shot, I was like, yeah, come on. He has some triumphant moments when he gets that Chicago pizza. Like it's just man, what a show. You really buy into those.
So good.
And my number one is when my daughter started calling me dad instead of Josh. Finally got the dad. I got the dad. I was just a guy named Josh living in her house, and now I'm dad.
I thought that would have been like, I thought you wanted the Josh to keep up.
I did for a while.
And then you heard it, and it was
awkward in like social situations where it's like Josh, and I'm like,
But it melted your heart the first time you heard it. It just really got you, huh?
Yep, that one got me. Yep,
it's very good.
Yes.
What do you got, Jeffrey?
All right, my 2 and 1 are number 2, the Barry final season. I love Barry, and I thought it stuck the landing. I thought it was incredible. And my number 1 was seeing Bruce Springsteen live for the first time. It was
that's so cool,
dude. It had been my wife had talked about. I mean, since the day I met her, I think it was in the first conversation we ever had on our first date. Was she brought up Bruce Springsteen? It's like been a thing. She's like, I have to take you to see him. I'm not a Springsteen guy. No, I like a Springsteen song here and there.
I don't trust people that don't.
Right. I'm not going to not bop to Glory Days, right? No. But I don't consider myself a fan. It's not a show I would seek out. But I get it now. It was a religious experience seeing him play live. Incredible.
You ever been to a Springsteen show?
No.
Me neither.
Never will.
I mean, I'm going to after this recommendation.
It's
Jeff,
worth whatever price.
Are you gonna hit? You're gonna hit him in the future, like when it comes back to town.
We're talking about flying to Chicago to see him.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like I get it. There's nothing like it. I've seen lots of concerts. I used to work at a major concert venue, and I would see. I could count on one hand anybody that came remotely close, but it is like it was like near 3 hours of the most concentrated energy I have ever seen. It was just like. It was like a revival meeting. It felt like everybody was in the best mood. It was incredible.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeff.
Have you seen the Stones?
I have not.
Okay, I was just curious to see how they compare. So.
Yeah, it made me want to go see the Grateful Dead. The Grateful Dead came through Denver, and I almost got a ticket. I'm not a Grateful Dead, but Springsteen had such a big effect on me that I changed my perspective of what I choose to go see live, because I used to think, I want to go see the bands I like play live.
Yeah, sure.
Now, I want to go see the bands that have a reputation for an incredible live experience.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's what I want.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
that's
Jeff.
So cool.
You said the Dead came through Denver. I don't think they ever left Denver, and that was about 25, 30 years ago.
Fair point.
They went to Denver, they stopped, and that's where they are now.
All about Denver. That's pretty great. My number 2 was the Bear, especially the season 2, that episode Forks, and then the number 1 was The Last of Us, but not the show. It was more of this whole this, for a moment, it was this monocultural experience. And I think it was my favorite thing about what it could have been. I'm a big Ender's Game fan. I don't know if you know this book.
Love it.
Orson Scott Card. When I was 9 years old, I read it in one shot. It's my favorite. I've read it 13 times. Wow. The movie was destroyed. And when you hold something so dear, some IP so near and dear to your heart, and when you see it adapted and it can just go so wrong. And I was kind of terrified. Again, The Last of Us, one of my favorite games of all time. I think it's genius. It's a story that's 13 hours, but the last 30 seconds, it's a magic trick of an ending. And they just crushed it. And it was so cool to see this thing that the first game sold 15 million copies. It's not like it was this cult classic, but it still wasn't part of the general pop culture. Do you know what I mean? It still seems small compared to the scale that it was at there. And so all of a sudden for 6 weeks, everybody was talking about, Pedro Pascal's Joel and that performance. And it was just, I was worried, but also relieved, even though I knew every word that was coming, but it was awesome. Just what a cool experience to talk about that with all these people and watching it with Josh. Josh had no idea where I was going week to week. And he'd be like, you got to tell me. He'd call me and other friends of ours. And we had this little pact where none of us would tell him what's going to happen.
Tell me the stuff. Yeah, that one, it really cleansed my palate because I was, apocalyptically a bit,
fatigued.
Yes. After The Walking Dead, even after the Tacoing Dead, Jeff, and Carnitas.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, what's the show name this week?
Oh, the show. We got still 4 seconds left of the vote, but it looks like it's going to be Edible Falconry. Or it might be a tie. The Gang Robs the Bank is also got 40. Whoop.
Gang Robs the Bank. Come on.
Gang robs the bank.
We need another vote. We need a vote.
I want
Edible
the-
Falconry or Gang robs a bank might be a
And
tie.
if it is a tie, my vote is that Freddie Airmail gets to choose, just out of
Fair
tradition.
enough.
Right?
Freddie.
Let's just let him choose.
I wanted to
there.
ask you, Dees, have you read Speaker for the Dead or Xenocide
Of
or
course.
anything?
Oh yeah. I've read all of those, and then I read all the Bean Saga too. Like,
Did you like them?
I loved them. They're diametrically different books.
Yeah,
but
very
they're
different.
deeply philosophical, and yes, loved.
I
all of that
loved
stuff.
Ender's Game and was as a kid, and then was very disappointed by the sequel. So I was like, this is boring.
They're very different.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I wonder if
have you read them as an adult?
No.
No. Yeah. I think they hit a little bit different. So
We
they're
have
very good.
2 more fan lists to get to. You guys want me to read them real quick
Hit 'em.
Let's hit it.
before we get back?
Looks like a tie. Edible Falconry and Gang robs a bank. So,
Freddie already voted. He said it's a robbing a bank. Let's go.
all right, the Gang robs
Thursday.
a bank.
Let's go.
I'm in.
Yeah, hit
Okay.
some fan ones on the way out, man.
Jay Spacely, he's doing his top 10 most dynamic FCF players from season 2.0. And this is, I like this. 10, get ready. I'm picking Yeti. Number 9, Thierry Jones, an underrated baller, in my opinion. Number 8, Andrew Real Deal Jamil, the iciest wide receiver at the turf, Mr. Gritty and Grit Factory himself. Number 7, Mike Lee, another one who could easily be at the top of someone's list. Number 6, Bryson Aline, the pride of Delaware and the Prince of Houston. Number 5, Cecil Cherry, named somebody else more scary than Cherry. Number 4, Jordan Smith, dog. Number 3, Mitch Kidd, dog. Number 2, Quantez Stiggers, enough said. And number 1, Kelly Bryant. Might get attacked for this since the season was short-lived compared to the rest.
Oh, I love
like those
Kelly
two
Bryant.
things.
Love Kelly
Love it.
Bryant.
That was good.
And
Such a
then
good guy too. Such a nice dude.
best. And then Ruthless Cutie, the top 10 games she's played so far in 2023. Number 10, Disney Dreamlight Valley. Number 9, Call of Duty. Number 8, We Love Katamari. Number
Come on,
7,
Katamari. Okay,
Katamari.
Katamari.
sorry.
Come on.
Calamari,
Some
my
respect
bad.
in your mouth.
Sorry.
Katamari Damacy. You never played Katamari Damacy?
Jeff, number 7, Lego. Number 7, Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga. Number 6, Ark. Number 5, Stranded Deep. Number 4, Rim World. Yikes, that could get weird. Number 3, House Flipper. Don't at me. Number 2, Coral Island. And number 1, Rainbow Billy.
Love it.
Wow, House Flipper is literally a job. There's this whole trend of they call them chore core games.
Yeah,
Where you-
Power Washer.
Power
Simulator.
washer simulator. There's like you have to fix stuff like around the house as a video game. It's the worst. I don't understand why people want to do it. I was like, I don't want to do that in real life. Very funny. Very funny.
Thank you,
Sure,
boys,
sure.
for indulging me. Thanks for this is awesome. I'm gonna wait till the end of the year and we circle back and see what made it from this list to our
100%.
finalists.
And thanks to all of the fans that submitted
Yes.
top 10 lists. Really cool.
Great.
We appreciate you. And we appreciate you tuning in and hanging out with us here on a Thursday. We're here all the Thursdays. So hope you're back and visit us again. You can always check out these shows if you can't make it on all of the social media channels. We're on YouTube. We're on Spotify as a podcast. Anywhere you get content, chances are fan-controlled sports and entertainment is there.
We are contenting.
What?
We are contenting there.
We're contenting. And we're content to content.
Correct.
All right.
We are they are him.
And with that,
We need to
ladies and
power to the
gentlemen,
fans.
we're
See you
powering
next
to the
time.
fans.
Power to the fans.